Well, anyway, that's how I lost my medical license.
All right. Okay. So, yep, you guys are in the thick of it. Of an interesting social interaction where after freeing Gleistier from this shadow dragony form, uh, he immediately went sniff, sniff, sniff. Why are you guys with a lich?
Lich.
And so you're like, yeah, she's a lich. And he was just like, liches get stitches, don't they? And then he did an insight check against I don't remember what she said, that he was just like, bullshit. And that started off
I
the
was only
conversation.
hiding from you the stuff I needed to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he smelled out some of her bullshit and that she was keeping something from you all. And that's when it kind of came forward. And I think it was her that ended up saying, like, you're right. I've been holding something back. And that is that I'm the one that tipped off Asterak to who, like, people like Cadmail are, and this prince, and now king, and who those relations are, and this Tingles fellow who never actually, like, directly had a confrontation with Serac. So you could tell she, her reasoning being that she never thought you all would work with her, but she wanted to force you guys into action, then to join her to take on a Serac. And then you all learned from Ramiel that he knew about that. Yeah. And as Gleistier, as you all kind of made your case, especially with Cadmail, like pretty much going, anyone trying to become a lich, I'm going to have to strike down because liches get stitches and liches get evil if they become a lich. And she already is one, but she just seems to have some sort of idea of some sort of ascension of growing in power in that regard. And yeah, so Gleistier pushed on her and was like, hey, can you... He believed that she was showing remorse for her past actions, which, I mean, she still fucking killed people. It is what it is. But he's like, if she wants to try and correct her path, she needed to give up that ambition and to swear it upon the sword of the Platinum Dragon that Cadmail has. And Ramiel rolled a persuasion to help me set the DC. I'm pretty sure she missed it by 1. I think it was like a DC 15 and she rolled like a 14. And like if Ramiel rolled better, she would have, I just love that moment. I also love the idea that if you guys didn't cure Gleistier and just defeated him, like this situation never happened. I love it. I love D&D. And so she, after that, she didn't try and lie or anything. She went, I cannot give up my ambitions. And so that's where we're picking up on. The whole time, JP, we're like, I wish JP was here. I wish JP was here. I wish JP and Tingles was here. Because we talked about it. It was like, we're like, we don't know, because sometimes you portray Tingles as very logical, and she's a logical resource, but then you also can be emotional. It's like, is Tingles going to be emotional, logical? Where's he going with this? So we were excited to see what Tingles' input was on it. Because like Jeff said, he's been just waiting for an excuse to attack.
I'm on the ceiling, by the way, like, not like rearing to attack, just kind of like, because I can't attack, I'm like just kind of pacing on the ceiling as a dragon, just smoldering.
Just a dragoning around. Hey, what? My spells look jacked up.
We used you for combat last week.
not the spell slots, but like.
Because when Riley was looking at your sheet, I'll turn it back on. You had the whole option where it shows you what your spells look like leveled. Like I cast Fireball at 7th level, and D&D Beyond was populating that. That was giving us a headache as someone who didn't know it. So I turned that off. That's why.
How do I turn that back on?
1 second. Campaigns. It's easier for me just to do it, to be honest. So just give me a moment. My apologies. All right. Anvil. At the very start. Show leveled scaled spells. That was turned on. So now if you refresh your sheet, it should be good to go.
Refresh.
Fired, bitch.
You've been inspired, bitch. All right, that looks much better. I like it to feel like I have way more than I actually do. Okay.
Yeah, so JP, you have some room here before exactly stepping into that moment to ask clarifying questions. Things you think Tingle maybe would have poked at before that moment if you want, or we can just step right back into that moment.
Yeah, so I talked to Justin earlier today, so I think I got a lot of what's going on. So I'm just gonna maybe just summarize it. So Tatiana told Romuald in a private conversation that she tipped him off wanting to instigate a fight so she could get whatever from him, right? She figured we'd go after him, so she told him, hey, Badger's over here, here's their loved ones, all that.
One thing she did say is that she didn't necessarily tell Sarac directly. She put it into the currents, she started spreading the rumors in the right places, kind of thing.
Right, but it's with the intention of it.
Oh, to get to him, yeah.
Getting to get to him, and yeah. I believe
a lot of this stuff is subjective because I don't remember how much of were there deception checks, were there inside checks, but this is stuff that I think has been quote unquote established, at least verbally.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so now it's been revealed to the party that she did that, and this dragon that's going to teleport us where we need to go was like, hey, she's evil. And she spilled the beans on that. And then we found out that Romuald knew, right? Cadmiel said, hey, if you promise to give up your pursuit of this power, then we'll forgive you, I guess. But she, whatever roles and whatnot, she openly said she's not going to give up that pursuit. Orkfo wants to kill her. Well, Orkfo just wants to kill. Cadmiel wants to kill her. Romuald is kind of like, no. And Tingles that's where we're at right now, right?
Hypothetically,
Romuald does not want to kill her. Romuald would protect her, I think.
Yeah, a lot of those statements are subjective, right? We don't know exactly what Romuald's feeling. You don't know exactly what Cadmiel's feeling. You don't know exactly what Orkfo's feeling.
And so
pretty good idea.
Orkfo has been very clear about I want an excuse, right? But Cadmiel's been trying to work through it with Tatiana. So I'm not saying Cadmiel doesn't want to. I'm just saying some of those things can be subjective.
I am drawing my line in the sand.
Yeah, Cadmiel 100% drew his line. It's like if you reach for lichdom, I will strike you down. And she's already liched, so an ascended lichdom.
And I am this close to her?
No, you're that close.
Actually, you're right here.
You can move her wherever. You move yourself wherever you want.
And you just found out that she gave away the location of your family and that you were involved and set Serac against your wife.
Well, my only family is my brother in another plane, and then my wife, who was already taken. So I don't have any other family that...
No.
Well, that's what he's saying, is it's because of Tatiana that your wife...
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah. Right. Okay. So, what we're up against right now, okay, is if we flat out try and attack Tatiana, there's a possibility Romuald may defend her, may not, we don't know. if we kill her, she's not technically dead, and can come back at a later time. But it gives us a bit of a buffer. However, if we kill her, then our chances against Acererak are somewhat diminished, right? But if we take her, there's a possibility she can
kill
gain.
Acererak, yeah.
Right. If we take her, we kill Acererak. There's some possibility of her gaining some power, and we know we can't trust her.
One aspect of the whole thing that with Acererak, just for your logic train here, she has stated that she has a spell, and she's told you her plan to defeat Acererak, right? Because you guys, well, he did bamf away. He didn't, right? Before he didn't actually get killed even then.
Yeah, he teleported
away. But
I think she told Ramiel the plan.
She didn't tell all of you? I thought she was pretty upfront about the plan.
Yeah, she did tell everybody
Okay.
in the Candlekeep Tavern. It was a meet. Well, technically, Orkfo had walked away.
Yeah.
But she would have been clear with at least Cadmail and Tingles in that case that what her plan is that she has a spell, and I think I'm going to assume she mentioned that Ramiel also now knows the spell, that when the idea is to find Acererak and then cast this kind of what's called like a soul tracker on him. So when you defeat him, and hypothetically his soul goes wherever his phylactery is, you can then track him to his phylactery and fight him and officially destroy him there. So the two
Without
of them,
that spell, without that spell, we can't necessarily defeat him.
Hypothetically,
because if we defeat him, he goes to his phylactery, but we don't know where that is. Right? Or his soul goes to the phylactery. We don't know where that is, but with that spell, we can find out where that is. We have, I'm guessing, so much time to track it down. Is she the only one that knows that spell?
Ramiel's the other person right now that knows it.
Do we know that he knows that? Like,
I think that was also covered.
I think that was covered because she's, she definitely kept stuff from you guys, obviously, but she's also been trying to be upfront with you about certain other aspects, like the plan.
So we don't. Okay. All right.
And she was upfront previously that she wanted to take Acerek's power. She was very clear about that upfront. The biggest, newest news here is that she's the one that tipped off everyone. I'm not saying you can't still emotionally react to that, but just for everyone's consideration.
Right. And so, obviously, Tingles has heard what Cadmail and Orkfo has said. Cadmail drew a line in the sand. And his reasoning for, because you said we already knew that she wanted Acerek's power, his reasoning for drawing that line in the sand now is after the revelation of this new information that she tipped him off to us, to our location.
And I'm not going to speak on Riley Cadmail's behalf, but seeing a good dragon kind of sniff out a lich and then kind of go like Lichdom's evil kind of made Cadmail kind of go, he does make a point. If she's trying to turn into a more powerful lich, do I? And so like Cadmail kind of had a reflection moment.
Got it.
The very nature of becoming a lich requires the eating of souls.
Yeah.
And that's an inherently evil act, even if the souls you're consuming are from evil people.
Yeah.
Largely because the longer time goes on, how can we be so certain that you're just going to feed on only the bad people? 100, 200, 1,000, 5,000 years down the line, how do we know that your perspective on morality isn't warped?
And she claimed that, or her thought on that is that Ramiel will be also spending an eternity with her, like hypothetically, it's immortality, and that he'll help keep her in check.
So that's been stated that Ramiel has a plan to kind of spend eternity with her? Yeah,
he says he wants power too.
Oh, God. So Okay. So the only two people that can cast the spell that we need are in this ever intertwining. All right. Okay. All right. I think. Okay.
So we'll pick up back in the moment where Tatiana
Yeah.
has said, I don't remember the verbatim, I will not give up my ambitions.
Okay. So I envision Tingles like kind of reverting back from like lordship and all of that grandioso that he's kind of presenting himself as, to just kind of going back to his roots, and he's just like sitting on the floor in a very non efficient way, and he's like pulled a cigarette out of nowhere, right? He's just smoking a cigarette. And at this time, like Tingles hasn't been saying anything. Cadmiel and Tatiana and everyone else has been talking, and so now we're at the point of Tatiana saying this. Okay, all right, sorry.
Knowing this fact, do we work together, or is this where I part ways with the badges?
Romuel, where art thou, motherfucking Romuel? I need you to weigh in. I need you to tell us whether you are with us or not.
Oh, technically I don't. That was used.
Oh, it was used.
Yeah, it shouldn't be there. I think Cadmiel's was as well.
What, the Bardic Inspiration? Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, let me check real quick, because it may have been... See... Wisdom save against aneurysm. Actually, yeah. No, wait. No. I think I gave myself another Bardic Inspiration at the end, but ended up rolling a 25 before having any Bardic Inspiration. And it does not look like I rolled anything after that, so...
Okay. Alright, Tingles calls for Romuel.
I've already told you everything.
Refresh our memories, friend.
So all this is over. She won't be trouble for us anymore. It would be futile to do anything right now anyways. Tatiana agreed. Tatiana agreed with me that once all this is over, we'll use the tracker spell on the both of us. So we can't make moves against each other ever again. If we strike her down now, then she won't die. And maybe the rest of you can go back to your lives. but I don't have the luxury of living without somebody who knows who I was before I was mortal still around.
You're not mortal?
Not in the technical sense anymore. I'm not a lich.
You talking about that multiplicity thing? That guy
Yes,
came and invited us to a party, and it looked like you, but it wasn't really you.
similar magic to that, but if you kill me, I'll reawake somewhere else in a new body that I crafted.
Y'all are weird, man. I can't imagine wanting to stick around here forever. I got battles to fight, other planes, legends to beat.
It was just now that we learned that there are other universes with other worlds, just like our material plane. I couldn't explore or adventure in one lifetime for all of Toril, and now there are hundreds, maybe thousands.
That's a pretty good point.
As long as I live, Tatiana will, if we maintain our agreement. I'm looking at her.
If you're not even convinced yourself, that this person, that you're destined for this eternal intertwining of tensions and love and whatever the fuck you want to call it, you're not even convinced yourself that you can trust her. She's betrayed us how many times? And we're sitting here wondering if she has the capability to betray us again? Isn't it, if there's an ounce of threat, we have to treat it as a potential 100% risk to ourselves and then weigh that option? There's a real threat right now, and she's standing in front of us, and the one person who's trying to defend her can't even confidently state that he can trust her.
I don't trust her, Ingalls.
What
It's
are
not
we doing?
about. Well, this isn't about trust.
You know, here's one potential option, right? One way I potentially see this going through. We fight right now. We take her out. She retreats to her phylactery. You can sit this out if you want, and you can play negligence that you could not fight because of your love for her, because of whatever you want to say, because of your destiny with her, right, beyond our lifetimes. She retreats to where the fuck she retreats to. We go deal with Asarak. You cast the spell on Asarak, right? Because you're a badger. We go defeat him. she doesn't get whatever power he has. Yeah? And then you can go back and find her and go do whatever the fuck you want with her. Right? And if you're both immortal, well, who the fuck cares what she does?
Glysteer speaks up.
You'll
She had her opportunity for redemption and to cast aside her ambitions, but she has thrown that into your faces. If you're to strike her down, you should make it permanent. If not a Serac, what other dark art will she willingly tap into? Liches are abominations. Their paths are only evil. It is only for the deeds you did me today that I do not consume her where she stands. For what she is.
While I appreciate your insight, your rigidity is somewhat challenging in our current circumstances, given that our loved ones could potentially still be alive and we're up against a time clock to save them. And if they're not, I can't speak for the whole party, but I feel Asarak would be priority.
You argue in lesser evils. Take the secrets of the spells and whatever they hold. Are you not a spellcaster bard?
Of some sorts, yes.
Take the knowledge, snuff out evil in all of its guises. But I bow to your judgment as my saviors.
And how do you feel, Glysteer, that a lich happens to be a part of that same saviors? He doesn't respond. You cast your absolutes about. I did help break your shackles. So what is it Badger is going to be? I knew my day of judgment would come with you all sooner or later.
Buff table, it's up to Tingles.
Oh, you can't just put that on Tingles. That can be anybody's choice.
I like if he is at all aggressive, I will pounce. That's all. I'm like,
don't be wrong.
that is my
can
body
definitely
language.
be following Tingle's lead, but I don't think it's an above
Yes.
table. I think in-game thing. But
Yeah.
Everyone's got player agency here.
Yeah.
That's all I meant for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also above table, Gleister mentioned there was the sun sword, which is like a lightsaber, and the there was like a mithril. Yeah, I don't think I need it. They were like cool, but I think we should probably get going. There was like a mithril chain shirt or something, which was pretty cool if anybody needs armor. But we'd have to find them.
I loathe to bring such a creature back to a world that I have missed my home. But what is your choice?
I don't know, but we need to make one. Sitting in here is giving me the jeebies.
I maintain my position. Anybody. Tatiana, Ramiel, myself, Tingles, Orvex, Orkfo, anybody goes after that power. Once we kill a Serac, I will not rest until I have done everything I can to bring you down.
I've made it very
And if it
clear
is
to
me,
you.
I expect you to do the same.
I've made myself very clear, King Cadmel.
Your Highness, at the end of the battle with the Serac, we will be quite weary.
She will be as weary as she ever will be. And we outnumber her 4-1, not counting Orvex and the name is showing up as Glister.
I pronounce it
Gleistier.
Gleistier.
Yeah, it's just like for some reason it got rid of the second E. Well, I was. Oh, it is just one E. Okay, yeah. And we outnumber her 4-1, not counting Gleistier and Orvex, both of whom I would rather more take the sidelines. It is neither of your fight.
Life is
None of you need to trust her. Just trust me for a moment.
trust in me. Trust in me.
Cadmel's right. It's not the person or the man or whatever he is that we're chasing in Acerak. It's the power. It's the power that she wants.
Ramiel, my trust in you is the one reason I have not attacked Tatiana yet. And it is becoming very difficult.
Life is not so. Would binary be a term that this crowd would know? Probably not,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, for sure.
They would. Okay.
Yeah, I think by
It just
Life
means
is
one of
not-
two things.
Right. Yeah. Life is not so binary.
Numbers and zeros.
I've learned. And with that, it cannot be viewed from a perspective of righteous rigidity. There are simply decisions that are made accounting for the various impact to the spheres of influence surrounding you. And you make those decisions with the information you have available. It is not whether our decision here is right or wrong. It's just whether we make a decision with our and our friends' best interests in mind. We will not be judged by any greater being other than possibly the gods. But where are they? They're not here. They're not here facing this. We are. We will judge each other.
Bahamut faces this very moment. Do not doubt the god's presence here.
And the gods will follow us to fight Asarak?
Do you not see the Knight of the Platinum Dragon? He is an extension
And
of my father.
This dragon will join us.
Has he not joined you before in the visage of Cadmael? He's brimming with the power of my lord and father. His avatar may not be here in this moment, but he is here.
He's talking about Cadmael. Cadmael is the Knight of the Platinum Dragon.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, Cadmael is but one talon of Bahamut's reach.
I will not swear to give up my ambitions. But what if I was to swear upon your blade, Cadmael? And when all of this said and done, you may face me. And I will face you.
I travel with you only because I hope very, very deep down in your heart that you actually do regret the choices you've made in the pursuit of this power. And that when the moment comes, you will find it in yourself to destroy that power rather than claim it for yourself.
Would you like me to swear it upon your sword? That you may face me at the end. Assuming any of us survive.
Yes. 2 witnesses of Bahamut.
And you, Lord Tingles? Will that be suffice?
At Ramiel.
If you go for that power, you're getting all of us. You're not just getting Cadmael. Hope you know that. I mean, can't speak for Ramiel, but the rest of us, if we have breath in us, we're going to keep that from seeing the light of day. I've seen Bahamut too. My visage may just be, facsimile, pale comparison. But he stands for what's right. And I've done some, gray shit in my day. But that ain't right. And you're going for it anyway. Speaks a lot.
I've said my piece on my reasoning. Shall I sway upon the sword? Lord Tingles?
Tingles pulls out his mandolin. Starts strumming. I can hear what you're thinking, all your doubts and fears. If you look in my eyes in time, you'll find the reason I'm here. In time, all things shall pass away. In time, you may come back someday to live once more or die once more. But in time, your time will be no more. Well, that didn't get me shit.
What are you trying to do? What spell are you trying
Fireball.
to cast? At Tatiana?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll do.
Well,
Well, we're gonna
okay.
roll
Can
initiative.
it?
Not
Yeah.
Can it be counterspelled?
Um,
I don't know.
Technically, it was a poor sleight of hand, so
I think the most important thing here
Hmm.
is Romual's
It's
passive
okay.
perception.
Yeah, 14's higher than that. Yeah, it's only 12.
Okay. The one important thing for you to note, Tingles, is that you will hit Orvex and Cadmail in this. I know Cadmail probably doesn't give a fuck, but
that's true. I didn't think about that. Right,
let me.
'cause of
I'll
where she's-
give you the narrative here. But everyone's just giving her as much space as possible. Orkvo, you moved over. I don't know if you saw it. I was doing it for funds, but it does make sense. If you loomed over, she's just I'm just gonna step over here.
Yeah, I was trying to be on top of her.
Oh, I know. And she walked away from me. The weird thing here, though, Tingles, is as you do this, you did not beat her passive perception,
Right.
which she allows it to happen. Roll your damage.
Where? Oh, there it is. All right.
The most important thing here is as Lord Tingles plays his music and then whips out the wand at the last second, throwing the fireball out. Oh, I forgot there's a wand too, right? Wait, no, you have no. Orkvo has the wand. This was an actual spell. Either way,
I have the beads.
yeah. Either way, Tingles, you get the fireball off without Romuald seeing it. The explosion goes off. Tatiana does not even try to dodge it. Takes all 40 fire damage. Romuald, what do you do?
Oh, I have to roll it.
I'm not. What you decide to do determines if we roll initiative.
Oh.
You know how long it took me to make that decision?
I get the feeling you were singing to by the time to make the decision.
I do too.
Well, song was the decision. Ever since this session started, I've just been wondering why attack. But
Yeah, just for above table real quick, just a mechanics thing, because I actually said a whole thing about Counterspell earlier in one of the Discord channels. It's not raw, but in a situation like this, when there's a lot of talking, initiative has been rolled, I do allow a sleight of hand against everyone's passive perception for a character to try and get a sneaky spell off before anyone notices. I'll be honest with you, I don't think that's raw, but it's something I like to do to give you a little bit of flexibility. But try and get something off in a social situation. But I don't I don't allow it once initiatives roll, because there's a lot of mechanics dedicated to it, like subtle spell. Continue. Romuald, what do you do?
He's probably just gonna yell at Tingles, "You fool!"
Do you strike? Do you cast a spell against the rest of the
I'm not gonna
Vengeance, or
cast a spell, yeah.
You just stand aside?
Yeah, I'm not gonna cast a spell or anything.
Okay.
oh, that would have been interesting.
Orkfo, you can go over.
Ah,
Roll a breath attack for me.
what is the breath attack?
Fire
Fire breath.
Yeah, you just roll mountain. There's a save involved.
Yeah. DC 21, dexterity saving throw, 18d6. Sorry, I'm lagging, man. Roll 18d6.
Yeah, someone's got a booster recently. I know I can hit hard right now.
59.
And you just step over. Tatiana stumbles and is on fire from the fireball, and then you just on her person. She is now a burnt corpse, but she's standing there. Cadmiel, what do you do?
It's hard to decide. I am very torn, and I think I'm going to basically flip a coin. Alright. On this coin flip, if I get a 1, then I'm going to try to defend Tatiana for the time being. Not by attacking you guys, but, like, hey, have you lost your minds? We at least need her long enough to get our families back. Or 2, I join the party, and I get my vengeance!
Yes.
Alright. 60. That's a distance I cannot cover.
We're in a narrative state right now. Please don't worry that much about it.
Okay.
So you
In
move
that
up.
case, I will want to try this.
I will give
Yeah.
only one thing in this narrative, right? Is Rommel, you see this happening now, so you see Cadmiel pull out his blade and go charging at Tatiana. Do you still abstain?
No. I mean, at this point, well,
Okay. I think that's the deciding factor that will determine that initiative is now going to be rolled. Well, sorry, I'm thinking out loud. Just bear with me. Let's not worry about initiative yet. Do you think you would have wanted to interfere after Dragonfoe did his breath attack? Or do you think finally seeing Cadmail and Sheath and go charging is going to be the moment that Romuald's like, okay?
yeah. I mean, yeah. If I have an opportunity to stop him, then I'll stop him.
But I'm going to say that Cadmail just continue with your turn. And Romuald, this is when you're now realizing like everyone has officially turned on Tatiana.
Well, I was gonna cast telekinesis and try to pull Cadmail back, basically.
Okay. What I'll do here is give Cadmail the choice narratively, Riley, if you would allow Romuald to try and get telekinesis out. Or if you want to go and do all your like whatever attack rolls you're going to do or whatever you're about to do.
I am not going to allow it. I am going to fight it.
Well, I mean, do you want him to get it off, right? Because I'm being very fluid with initiative. Does that make sense? Justin's turn came and went, and he was abstaining. But then now Cadmail is, also taking in on this moment. This is now Romuald going, oh, I do want to act, but does that make sense? Like,
he has delayed his turn.
Wait, I'm actually...
I can dig that, a delay of telekinesis if he sees, like, if Cadmail being the triggering effect here. From, like, a narrative standpoint. Are you okay with that, Riley?
Yes, but Cadmail is not going to allow it.
Oh, no, yeah. That,
so I will, but Cadmail will fight it.
Yeah, cool. So, Romuald, you get telekinesis off. 1 second. Or let me do one little weird thing here. Tingles. You see Romuald beginning to cast a spell. Do you want to counterspell it?
Oh. Yeah, I think I do. Hold on, do I still... Yeah, I do have counterspell available.
Can I counterspell his counterspell?
You can in this instance. Because we're more of a narrative state than a hard initiative rules.
Okay.
You know that he has a higher spell level, Tingle, so if you wanted to roll higher and make him try to make a roll on it, you can. Or just think he would have just instinctively done counterspell, and then Romuald instinctively counterspells.
Is it?
I
think I would have
naturally let the counterspell. Let's just done the
we can cancel it out.
Yeah. So you see Romuald hold up his staff, I think is what you cast with, and tingles. You try and strum the counterspell notes, and you hit it, but then at the last second from the staff, Romuald kind of dueling hits you back with a counterspell, pushing your effect back, and then telekinesis is released, forming near Cadmail, I'm assuming, or doing something.
Yeah, Cadmail.
So what are you going to attempt to do with telekinesis?
Just try to pull him back, like prevent him from getting close.
All right, so an ability check with your contested by the creature strength check. Blah, blah, blah. Right?
Make an ability check.
Using your spell casting modifier. So yours would be your intelligence modifier versus his strength.
Okay, so just roll an intelligence check. Yeah.
And then Cadmail rolls a strength check.
I do have Bardic Inspiration. I'm doing it.
Do it. You need a 12, right?
Yep, I need to
Or
roll highest
10,
on the die.
excuse me.
No!
No, a 10.
Wait.
I
No,
mispronounced.
it's
I
10.
think you need a 10.
That makes it.
Well, I need to know what the tie does, though. Objects and word carry
If you want to get this,
Wait, you can try to move it. Wait, nope, I'm looking at objects. If you win the contest, you move the creature upward.
I don't think a tie counts as a win.
I think tie goes to the defender if we're thinking like in the terms of grapple, right? My brain's
Yeah.
kind of malfunctioning here. Usually I think a tie goes to the defender. Am I remembering that
One
correctly?
sec.
that sounds right.
Convenient for you to agree with him.
It would go to Cadmill.
Yeah.
No, those flips around, my bad. Very nice of you to agree with.
Alright, what's up?
I need to look it up, actually. My brain is like, can't. I've gone through.
Oh, apparently there is a contest rule in the PHB, page 174. If the contest results in a tie, the situation remains the same as it was before the contest.
So
Status
essentially
quo.
the defender. Yeah, status quo.
Yeah.
So thank you for looking that up because my brain was hurting. Yeah,
I
so
looked it up and
telekinesis.
it's on Stack Exchange that cites that, so...
As long, and not that it always needs to be, but they're quoting the page or whatever. I'm definitely okay with that. So yeah, and that goes with what I thought it was. So it makes sense to me. So the telekinesis goes off, and Cadmel at the last second, that little bit of inspiration from Tingles pushes you through, and so now you can do your attack rolls against Tatiana.
Alright. Step 1. Shoulder check Tatiana to shove her prone.
Okay.
He just allows it.
Yep. Tatiana's knocked on the ground, and as you're pulling your blade out, you get a sense she's just offering you her neck. Her burnt corpse.
Alright. I am going to do the kind of stereotypical draw the sword and plunge it straight down into the stone beside her neck. Then I'm gonna turn around to the rest of the party and just say, she'll just be back anyways. What's the point of killing her now?
Finish her, and then destroy her phylactery, King Cadmail.
And we don't know where it is yet. If we are to do this, do it correctly.
You,
No.
Romiel, you have the ability to track. He could lead you to her phylactery.
Something's not right.
Yeah, why is she giving up so easy?
Why does she not fight?
I have not given up my ambitions.
You got something to gain out of this.
But I have left myself to your judgment for my sins.
You'll feel pain from this.
I already feel
Once this is
pain.
all over, you just wake up from your phylactery again, and however many days or weeks or years, as long as that power
may
is out
put
there.
the soul tracker upon me, and you may strike me down, and you may go, and you may destroy my phylactery, ending my life on this plane. I do not shirk from what I did to you and the mistakes that I've made, but I will not give up my ambitions while I live. Romiel showed me that.
that I have wronged people, that perhaps in a different place, in a different time, things could have gone differently.
And have you not considered that things can still turn out differently? You've done great wrongs. But now is the chance to right those wrongs.
I said my piece. The life I've led is a pain. And if you will put walls between me and the power that I need to be safe, then those that I've hurt have every right to remove me from this existence. And I will go to whatever hell awaits me. Romeo put the soul tracker upon me. And Glysteir can cast his holy, righteous breath upon my corpse. It's not very far away here in the Shadowfell and in Darkon, my home. I have many regrets, but my choices I've made for the powers that I've had to obtain, I have no regrets on that. Because I needed it. I cannot deny that of myself.
It's a very odd pair of faces you wear. On one hand, regretful towards those you have wronged, to the point where you're willing to essentially commit suicide upon our swords in order to make us feel better. On the other, not willing to sacrifice the power that you chase in order to do the same. Same power that led you to committing these acts that you regret.
Tingles is walking up, pointing his mandolin at Tatiana with tears in his eyes. Insolent slug! You terrible creature! The only monster in this room! He prepares to cast a spell.
Can Cadmail try to stay
What's that?
Lord Tingles' hand?
Tingles, just to clarify, where are you casting a spell to?
Tatiana.
Oh, you're trying to strike down Tatiana. Gotcha.
Well, you'll see now.
My god, if you kill her with a vicious mockery.
I allowed some reactions here, so Cadmiel, I'll allow you a narrative reaction if you want to try and subdue him, but I think it's a pretty high DC to stop a spell. Kind of get his hands and get the loot and stuff. We're getting into what I call narrative stuff. I don't want to be sticking to hard rules because I just like the flow going. What spell were you casting, Tingles?
Healing word.
My favorite thing
You
is
don't know that, Cadmail.
My exact thought for what I was planning on having Cadmail do is the one finger directly onto the mouth.
So when you were speaking though, Tingles, were you addressing Glysteir? Was that what I was understanding? But you're casting the spell, Tatiana?
Tatiana, yeah.
So the words and the spells going to Tatiana. Gotcha.
Everything I'm
Okay,
talking.
I'm just want to make sure I understand
Yeah, yeah,
completely.
yeah.
So in that case, Cadmail, if you want to roll an insight check maybe to see what he's doing, or if you just want to instinctively stop him, just go for it.
I've already seen him cast Fireball at Tatiana.
Yeah,
I
so
have
if you
no
think that's what he
reason
would do.
to.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
let's do this.
Well,
Do
I'm
an
certainly not going to cast Fireball walking up to her.
Well, I
Well,
mean,
yes,
yeah.
but I don't know off
Yeah.
the top of my head if
Yeah,
you
roll
don't
a
have any
strength
single
check
target.
versus a charisma check from Tingles.
A charisma check from me.
Yeah. I mean, he could roll a 1 or a 2. I think he's got a +5 modifier. Oh! Tie goes to the defender, essentially. So, Tingles, your cure healing word goes off, and you heal Tatiana a little bit.
Yeah, so the way I'm doing it, I'm screaming at her, I'm yelling at her, I'm crying, I'm readying my mandolin, and you see it like glowing and powering up, and then I strum, and then this wave of healing floods over her.
As you approach doing that, you see her close her eyes in expectation.
Jesus Christ.
That's a great healing word roll.
I say, I cannot watch. A defenseless animal be slaughtered. But no, I expect you never speak to me again from this day forward. I plan to stop you from obtaining your power. And then he walks away.
At that point, Cadmail's just going to grab his sword.
I do think there's space here for Dragon Foe. Jeff's been kind of quiet, but if Orc Foe wants to go over and burn her to a crisp, he still has room to.
I think I would. I think I would try to get a frightful presence off on her. And just
be frightened.
Oh yeah. Well, I will not, knowing that because I'm Orcfo, be all big and blustery.
Yeah, you do it,
and then
it just doesn't have no effect on her. Yeah.
And I'll swipe my tail and intentionally miss just up to the other side of where Cadmil laid his head, and I'll fly off. Which way did Tingles go? Because we can't go far. There's beans galore down here. Also, my dragon potion is probably about half up, I would guess. Lasts for an hour.
I think the conversation's probably been going on for 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, and maybe, I don't know,
goes
one
before
for the
break.
combat.
yeah, exactly. Not even one.
Kind of impressive how short combat is, given how long it takes.
100%.
Yeah.
Any other words, King Cod? No?
Entering this room, I didn't trust you. Conversation fully justified that and made me hate you. But now, Tatiana, I think quite possibly the worst fate you can have is living without that power. I don't think I'm going to go after your phylactery so long as you stay out of the lives of good people.
I only want to hurt those who hurt me.
You were, I think, so quiet that your microphone barely got any of that.
I only want to hurt those who hurt me.
Take it from somebody whose family has been closely aligned with dragons. Fighting fire with fire just leaves everyone burned.
What if your only choice is fire? Or to be burned, turn to ashes?
There are always more choices.
Not after what I did. There's no redemption for the undead.
There is a wide gulf between redemption and damning yourself further.
I'll damn myself. It is your judgment, says the badgers. Was all that I seeked today. Now, if you excuse me, I'd like to get some balms on these wounds. Is that it, then? Is that your final choice, badgers?
I think we've discovered her intentions by trial.
Very well. Orvex shoots Tatiana.
Welcome to Jacksonville, bitch!
Orvex calls upon the ring of the ram and slams her into next Tuesday.
Oh my god.
That would actually be great.
That would be fucking hilarious. Very well. The darkness that is enshrouded in my home has dissipated. Help prepare yourselves. If you are ready to be taken to my world of Earth. And once there, we'll look for the Sunblade. Are you ready?
I think a short rest is in order. Especially for that one, as he points to Tatiana.
Very well. Take your short rest. All right, take a short rest.
Yeah.
How does that work with me being transformed?
To be fair, I would assume like you're gonna change back and then do an Orcfo short rest because it would
Oh, yeah.
after an hour anyways.
It'll be an hour. Yeah. Okay. I don't want to take a short rest. I'm pretty rested. I just figured I would, I don't know, just talk dragon stuff with the dragon while y'all, till it wears off.
So if you are new to being a dragon, the first thing you should know is that, the talents, you need to sharpen them daily. If you let them continue to grow out too much, they'll get, your hangnails are atrocious, says the dragon.
Yeah, I feel like about that time I would just like back into Orcfo. Yeah.
Well, that's convenient.
I kind of, this is like I said, a temporary sort of thing.
Yeah. I thought maybe you were like me and I can change into a human or humanoids. I understand now.
No.
Mhm.
All right, let's get out of here.
Mhm. All right. I guess there's one thing I'll create space for if it's there. It's like during the short rest. Tatiana, speaking privately to Ramiel. That went about as good as I thought it would.
I don't know. Maybe they don't have it in them now. But if they do that again, what will you do?
If they're there, if we're alive at the end of all this, I'm too afraid to not take what I need for my Serac. If I am to die and to be destroyed, these are the people that I wish to do it.
What power does a Serac have? Souls?
Godhood. Maybe not godhood in the sense of a deity, but he has grown beyond the bounds of any normal lichdom. His name shakes the plains of the multiverses with fear. The only other name that I know that holds that much weight is Vecna. I want to place myself in this world, in these universes, where the gods may just plant us into the ground and destroy us and grind us into dust. I want to be put into a place. I want to grab the power. Those, everyone will be afraid of me, as I've had to be afraid of so many others. He's not a god, but his power and ability very close.
He is powerful. We hardly escaped him the last time. But it was him who departed the battle. Didn't seem like a god.
These dungeons that he builds is not truly his home. I suspect when we face his true form, it'll be like anything we've ever seen before.
I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what you're going to do.
We will free their family and friends. We will defeat Sarah. And then we will destroy
You
them.
believe they're alive? And it isn't just their family, friends. My father was taken too.
I hope they're alive. I did bet a lot on him enjoying his games. But I won't pretend to know him. But if he wanted them dead, I think he would have just killed them in front of them.
I've seen the remnants of what he does to people. Might be better if they're dead.
If I fall, I want you to see this. She pulls out a little device. It's like a little, almost looks like a cage. Shines with silver. It looks like to be a magic item. This is a soul cage. When we destroy his phylactery, we can use this to capture his essence. His soul, his being. And this is what I plan to use. But if I fall, either you destroy it, or do whatever you want with it.
Can I look at it?
Very well. She hands it over to you. As a one professional spellcaster to another, you see it's a magic item that's a slightly more enhanced lich version of the soul cage spell, essentially. Pretty sure it's soul cage. Yeah.
I'm just gonna kind of look at it, investigate it, and tell her. And to be honest with you, Tatiana, I don't really have much interest in whatever magic the Sararak was looking into.
It's not what he was looking into, it's just, it's him. You could put the soul of a demigod into this device. Not saying you need to, but more that if I fall, you should make sure this falls into the wrong hands. You destroy it, research it, put it in a chest. It means nothing to me if I'm gone.
All right then. No, hand it back over to her.
Okay.
Oh, actually, there's one other thing.
Yes.
I would like to hold on to the book since it's been very useful to me. There was also this, and I'll pull out the Ring of Spell Storing. You took it off Xander when you killed him.
I did. You can keep those things as part of my penance for killing one of your best friends.
Well, I gave it to you the first time.
Is the ring of spell storing an attunement slot?
It is.
Well, as useful that might be, and she kind of pulls a strange device out and shows it to you, and then she pulls out a wand. I have re-equipped myself in somewhat a year. I've also crafted a new spell book, but it's not as good as Hazelin's. But I do want you to have it.
Well, same, actually. That's why I don't mind giving the ring away. I'm still using this staff, but I have found some nice ropes, and the book is very good.
I didn't mean to compliment you on your robes. The arcane reinforcements in that seem to be very powerful.
Yes.
Does that ring symbolize anything else?
It's just a magic item.
In that case, then I don't need it. Thank you.
In that case, what?
I don't need it. Thank you.
I wouldn't have cast it. The soul track. Even if you had asked me to then. We'd agreed to do it afterwards. Also, I don't have it.
You know I'll never force you to do anything you don't want to do. Do you understand how much you've shown me? The wrongs that I did. If it wasn't for you, I don't think I would not be feeling what I'm feeling now. You're the only person in Zoxys for the longest time that I've ever felt had any sort of compassion or feeling for me. But through you, for the first time I ever saw what that meant going outward from you to other people. So knowing the harms I did, seeing, again, I know forgiveness is not the right word, but your understanding and still accepting me as a person. That put a lot of regret in me that I never knew existed. And through that, through you, I actually do regret what I did. And if anyone was to judge me,
It should be for the badges. If I'm to die, I want it to be by just hands, not by... She kind of looks over at Glysteer in the corner talking to Orkfu. Some righteous gods. Or some evil bastards. I know that might be hard to understand, but...
I understand. Some of them aren't so righteous. Cadmail, yes. He's earnest. He's so earnest that it hurts to look him directly in the eyes.
Do you think
The
that's his god
tingles.
or his king? Or his crown?
I haven't seen any reason not to feel a good person. He wants to help his people. He wants to be a good king. He doesn't know it yet, but in time he'll learn that it's a good thing that his father stepped down and allowed him to take the crown early. His father, who was taken by Serac, was a weak king. Part of that weakness allowed for that kingdom to have the situation we found it in. Tingles for whatever righteousness he claims to have. There was a night where he came to my room and tried to discuss the possibility of Cadmail taking the crown early. And now he's a knight sworn to defend that king. Today they're angry. But I've given up on trying to figure out what any of them want.
I'd be curious if Tingles, Lord Tingles. I know why I reach for power. Wonder why he does. Honestly, the one out of all of them though, that is Orkfu. There's an honesty to him, to life, that I don't see in the others as much. Other than you.
All I know is there's no stopping him.
You say that. But I was very much sensing that if you all were the only thing stopping him from tearing me limb to limb or turning me into a pile of ash, I think you all are the only thing keeping him in line, perhaps. But once you unleash him, I imagine the world shakes now. You've all grown very powerful, by the way.
Yes. And take it from me, I don't think I could stop him either. I didn't try at the tavern when he first saw you.
Between you and me, I could not take you. Not you all. You all are all growing into something I've never seen before. Feel the touch of the gods and the power that shakes the universe and all of you. And that actually scares me a little bit. Partially because the choices I made to get the power that I wanted or needed
If I had not made that choice, perhaps I would be sitting where you are with these people and not here. But choices were made.
Perhaps.
Whatever happens, though, please don't let Gary have the killing blow on me. That's all I ask. Right. Shall we go to Earth? Find the Tomb of Horrors.
To Earth.
To Earth! Okay. So we're at 1040. I know people have expressed willingness to go through with things, but also I know, Jeff, you came into this sedated. So how are we feeling about going beyond 11? Because if we want to go beyond 11, I might take a little 10-minute break. But if we want to just kind of wrap this up at 11, we can. Or concluding this, we could end it now with just a little bit of a vignette of, placing you guys in position, for the next session. So I think the question maybe we'll start with you, Jeff. How are you feeling? I'm fine.
I'm
either
feeling
way,
okay.
guys.
I think if it depends on what I see on the other side, like whether I'm gonna want to get into it or not. Like I don't think I'm up for a whole lot more RP, to be honest.
No RP. I don't think. You guys will then if things go simply, you guys will be getting into dungeon crawling, puzzle solving, which is a different level of intellectual.
Yeah.
Fortitude. So that is the flip side of it. So we could get you guys set up on the doorstep of the new dungeon, and then pick it up the next time when everyone's feeling fresh. Thoughts? Or we can get to the Tomb of Horrors and you can start poking buttons. I know the puzzle solving got kind of rougher in our previous old sessions the later we got.
The later it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one thing that's keeping me hesitant from just saying, yeah, let's go! But, same time, I do like the idea that we get our first footsteps on this new universe. And,
yeah, we'll definitely be going through that. So I think I agree with what everyone's sentiments is. So let me just do a quick bathroom break, but I'll jump right back in and we'll push the narrative forward. But we won't get into anything too intensive. So just give me one moment.
yeah.
Did you guys pick up what movie the song I sang came from?
No.
You guys ever watch The Punisher with Thomas Jane?
No.
God bless it.
I shall be back in a few. I'm going to check on my eye.
I wasn't trying to throw you under the bus or anything, JP, when I just brought up that random shit that Tingles did.
Oh.
But I was thinking about it the whole time when he's keeping secrets and all this kind of stuff. And it's I don't know, anytime I listen to Tingles try to be righteous, I'm just thinking about the time you met up with Robbie and you were like, yeah, maybe,
Kill the guy.
maybe he doesn't have to be king.
Well,
and it was like, what, are you going to kill him? I was not saying that.
that's not what was said out loud. No, it's not. He's not so much taking a righteous approach.
No, I get it.
Yeah, his concern was, well, what do you do if she gets that power and then she turns on us? And it's like, we've already battle ridden. It's more just there's a chance he won't survive if like he views it as a chance.
Yeah.
Less
Well,
of
the
a
decision.
survival if she gets the power.
Yeah. Well, the decision is like impossible, really, because it's like if we let her come with us, and we've already made it clear that Cadmail already said, "Well, you can't have this thing," and she has made it clear it's the whole reason she's going.
Right.
And
And when Cadmail
now
said that, it's just like, all right, well, we're gonna fight her anyway.
yeah, so it's like you might as well kill her now, but also killing her now means nothing really.
Well, it's possible that she at least would have a difficult time getting to where this, where Asarak is by the time we kill him. Because she would have to find us and catch up with us, right? So it was like we have more of a chance of defeating Asarak and
One
And-
thing, my food.
Hmm.
Hello. Yes, ma'am. Justin?
Sorry about that.
No, thank you.
That's not good.
I got it. Thank you. Have a good night.
you don't really
All right.
need that,
Need what? Have a good night.
right?
Screw you, delivery driver. Thanks for bringing my taco, you loser.
Have a shitty night.
I hope you get in that 2-ton vehicle and be really unsafe with it.
As I just said, I am back. I'm
No.
gonna do a quick skim of the dungeon because it's technically safe. And when you guys get transported, Lycia will definitely be happy to give you guys some rewards. Though he does not agree with what you guys are doing. So I'm just kind of doing a quick skim here.
Yeah.
Because he does actually have a little horde here somewhere.
Yeah, Justin, he just thought there was a better chance. Now, better chance of dealing with SRX power
JB, your mic
without
is-
Tatiana there.
ANC sounds rough.
Yeah, oh, good.
Oh,
I
sorry,
thought
I was-
that was
No, I was in the kitchen trying to find something to snack on, and
Yeah, it sounds good now.
too far
Sounded
away
like
from my.
Bluetooth catching up.
Yeah, yep.
No, he was just thinking that if Cadmail's going to fight her anyway when she goes for SRX power, and we're all going to be weary, right? And yeah, she'll be weary too, but it's just if she gets that power, she might not be weary anymore. You know what I mean? Might be like a Mega Man charge up or whatever. She's just ready to fight. And it was like, well, he's going to fight her anyway. If we take her out now, even though she'll come back, at least we can possibly have a better chance at figuring out what to do with SRX power without her there. If we get to it in time. But we might not even have a chance to deal with SRX power without her. So it's kind of like damned if you do, damned if you don't.
So
But I suppose with
I'm
her,
really enjoying you guys' conversation, but I'm going to pull it back in just because of the time. I'm done skimming the items. So the most interesting things he would have on offer is the Sunblade, which is linked, the Mithril Armor, which is a chain shirt version, and then Cloak of the Bat are the most interesting. For all of you, I feel like the Cloak of the Bat might be the most interesting thing. While wearing this cloak, you have advantage on dexterity stealth checks, and an area of dim light or whatever. You can turn into a bat, or you have fly speed. It does require attunement though, so I know you guys have, customized your characters with magic items to this point, but I feel like that one's the most interesting for all of you. I think chain shirt is medium,
It is.
and I think everyone who can do medium is probably armored up. Yeah. So, anyway, I want the Cloak of the Bat.
so what was that called?
It's in the
Cloak of the what?
Cloak of the Bat. It's in the Discord.
Oh, okay.
rules if you want to see it, yeah. Like I could see tingles in that, but whether or not you want to give him an attunement slot for it, I don't know.
Yeah, I've got all my attunement slots packed up right now. I could. I don't know. Does somebody else want that before I start worrying about whether or not I can find an attunement slot for it?
I'll take the Sunblade in case like radiant damage is important.
Cool. Yeah, just know that it needs attunement, so you can't just like pull it out in the middle. It'll be a
Right.
preparation thing. Cool.
Mithril armor.
And the Mithril armor is a chain shirt, and Tingles, you can't wear it as a bard, so
okay.
it doesn't really matter.
So really, it's just Cloak of the Bat.
Yeah, exactly.
What is it?
There's a couple items on the board that he would have offered you. As I was telling everyone, I don't think it's anything anybody really needs or wants. But Orkvo's going to grab the Sunblade, just for in case he can prepare ahead of time for something that might need radiant. There's Mithril armor chain shirt, which only you and Orkvo could wear, but you guys are probably armored the fuck up already with stuff you want. And then Cloak of the Bat.
I think I have Mithril +2 armor.
Yeah, I was like, I think none of this is really going to hit you guys too hard or be temptation, except for Cloak of the Bat, but it's an attunement one.
I am tempted on that one too, just because I've got the Wings of Flying. I would give up a little bit of fly speed in using it.
The only thing
is it better
I
or
will
worse?
say is that imagine, bear with me, Tingle's getting it, and so when he's wearing it, though, JP has to do his Batman voice.
Already damned.
Tatiana.
Can he be trusted?
Can't he be trusted?
Can't he be trusted?
Tingles puts his on. He just talks like that all the time.
Sorry, guys. I gotta look at this with science. Oh, yeah. 50-50.
Jokes aside, though, Jeff, if you think Orkvo, you can definitely discuss that with everyone.
I don't think so.
Advantage on dex saves or on stealth, though? That can be kind of nice.
Yeah, I can't see myself actually turning into a bat, though. Like,
And you
probably more
have
if
to be,
that's
in the
dangerous.
fly thing, I think it's an area of dim light. You can grip the edges and then fly. And so, like, if you're outside in the middle of the day, you can't fly, to be fair. You pretty much have to be Batman going from shadow to shadow to fly or do anything in this.
That's pretty dope. Whoever created this clearly had Batman in mind. Like,
Right.
Yeah. Go ahead and take it, and like we can figure it out later if somebody wants it or if there's situational reason to have it.
Okay, so I'm putting it in my inventory for now.
Yeah, and you guys can even add that to the inventory and sell it later. That's always an option too. Turn into gold.
Cloak of the Batman.
Hold music. I'm now getting prepared for your multiversal shift to a whole nother world. Just 1 moment. I know this is so stupid, but what I'm trying to get is I can't remember. I'm trying to find through my notes where I wrote down where exactly on Earth the shit is. I know I wrote it down somewhere. Like where, like you can go to the world, but then where is it on the world, right? I know they gave you like a specific region and stuff. Oh my gosh, I don't see it in my skimming. Okay. Okay, I don't remember. So it's just bugging me because I wanted that a little bit of immersion of like, you must go to the hills. I'll just make it up then. The hills of what? Where are you guys going? The hills of lost tears, because I always do tears and sadness in my stuff.
Lythandros.
Yeah. Hills of Lathandros. Cool. So,
You coming with us, Gleisteer?
No. I need to find and discover what happened to my friend.
Noble.
And what else happened on this world. But you know this. For the eyes of Bahamut will be upon you all through your trials and tribulations. If you have the ability to send sending, you may message me in a time of need, and if I can and am able, I will come.
Likewise, bro. You're a good dude. Tell your mom we said hi.
I don't want to speak to my mother. Tiamat.
Your dad, I mean. Yeah, that.
Tiamat's been, it's complicated in the family. Alright.
And he like takes you guys into what was that chamber that you guys fought, or you all fought. The vampire, this big open chamber. He kind of goes to the middle of it, and essentially his claws grip down into the surface of this room itself, cracking into it. And you can see him just kind of feeling the power of the Shadowfell, and then eventually just everything begins to permeate. It's a long ritual process, to be fair, but you all need to be like kind of chilling for an hour until all of it ends. And like everything around you is encompassed with it, this whole dungeon complex. And eventually, you're flown through the multiverse. You guys don't feel or notice anything. Actually, everyone roll a Constitution saving throw to be destroyed by this planet that is actually 10 times the sizes of Toriel. Make sure the gravity is going to be that much stronger. I'm just kidding. The magic recedes.
We have arrived. When you finish your journey, return to me, and I will see you safely returned to that Shadowfell. From there, though, it'll be up to you how you return to your own material plane. So first, the hills of Lathandras is where you need to go. The world has not changed for however long that I've been gone. Fly with me or ride upon my back, and I will guide you there.
And you guys travel. Assuming you're okay with that. And you go.
Sure.
And maybe it takes you guys a couple days to traverse the world. The only little weird thing that I'll note from when you emerge from this dungeon complex is that you overlook a bay and a city, or not a city, a sea. Very coastal. May even remind you of the Sword Coast. But it's a small kind of fishing town. I say small, but it's a town. There's walls, a little bit old. You see ships coming in and out, fisher. You see maybe a war galley here and there. But as you step out, the one sign you see is for the town of Saltmarsh. This being a reference to the module Ghost of Saltmarsh, which is referenced in Greyhawk. So I like to imagine you guys see that when you step out in the distance. The one published thing they have that's a complete tie-in, but then you get on Glycia's back, and those who want to fly, and you all travel, and eventually come to a hilly region. There's no trees. It's it's very what's the word? Mongolian, like grass, just open plains with the hills and the grass, tall grass, but not a lot of trees. And together, using your draconic forms and your flying, you guys, and using the research that you've done previously, eventually find what seems to be this one singular obelisk sticking up out of the ground, and it reminds you a lot of the obelisk that you all passed when you first entered the Tomb of Annihilation. There's no complete obvious sign, though, to an entrance to the tomb, but you know you have arrived. As you all hear a voice call out from the obelisk. Let the games begin. That's it for tonight's session.
Oh. Just remembering the way that we found the entrance before was I got that amulet that was tugging on my neck on where to go.
Yeah. Well, there was 3 false entrances or something.
Yeah.
Because there was one that had that corridor with lights that would light up as you walk past. And then there was one that was just like a set of doors.
One quick above table thing, not to debate you guys too hard about the quote-unquote next session, but I'll be most likely camping Saturday, Sunday, and then coming back on Monday in Florida. But unfortunately, I do think I'm not going to plan on a session because I'm just going to be probably too exhausted. So no session next week, most likely, unless our plans change, because some of that has to do with my wife Misha's brother joining us. But that's our loose plans at the moment.
And I'll be camping next week.
December 4th.
Yeah.
And funny enough, I'm pretty sure I have jury duty on the 11th. I think it's the 11th. So maybe
hopefully you get out of it.
Well, I already pushed it back once, and it's just like, all right, because funny enough, I think it was gonna happen around our Seattle trip that we did. Something came up. I was like, I can't do it then.
Just say free Palestine, they'll let you go home.
I had the same thing where I pushed it out and then I had to go. So if they call your group, because you won't find out if they call your group till the night before, right? So if your group gets called, then you show up. You show up and you get called all the way up until you're actually in the courtroom, right? And you have the prosecution and the defense trying to ask all the questions to pick the jury. I swear this is how I got out of it.
I'm so ready for a JP how I got out of jury duty story. I got the popcorn out.
So, it's being recorded. Can you stop the recording? Stop the recording.
Oh, that's actually fun.